Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing great today. This past Sunday, we talked about the power of lamenting, and I shared with you some of my current learnings around lamenting, just this appeal or this complaint to God out of our anger or frustration or disappointment or betrayal, whatever it is, just this honest appeal and complaint to God. One of the things that we talked about inside of that I actually said, hey, we'll talk about this a little bit more during the week, was that one of the things we uncover in lamenting is some healing. There's a part of us that heals, and it goes a little beyond this healing that we encounter in forgiveness. Forgiveness is a remarkable, it's a necessary, it's a very Jesus-like choice we make when somebody hurts us or, again, betrays us, causes any kind of pain. We choose to forgive. But here's the unique place that lamenting goes, that oftentimes forgiveness may not go. We are a spirit, soul, and body. We talked about this often around Journey. We're a spirit, this part of us that when we surrender our lives to Jesus, we become fully alive with Him, fully connected to Jesus in this way. This is the part of us that will live for somewhere forever, heaven or hell, in complete separation from God. There's this soul, and then we have a physical body. I want to talk about this soul real quick. The soul has a few parts. One is the mind, and then we have this will, this free and human will that God really, out of His kindness and His desire for an authentic love relationship, has given us. He allows us to make choices, right? We have this mind, this will, and these emotions, right? That all of us experience and live in all three of those. Forgiveness is really a choice of the will. We forgive before we feel like it. We choose to forgive. But oftentimes when we make that choice to forgive, what begins to get healed a little bit is the mind. We begin to open up a little bit of mind space. Maybe not all of it, but it's the open door so that healing can start. And then there's a little bit of maybe the emotional space in our lives that begins to get healed. Maybe a little bit of the wound starts to cover up. Maybe a little bit of healing comes. But oftentimes what we need beyond forgiveness is we need this lament, where forgiveness starts the healing, and it is the open door to healing. It's the first door. Lamenting is almost like a second door, and it opens up the door to so much more healing in our mind and our emotions, because we're acknowledging the depth of those emotions. We're actually communicating out of that anger or out of that frustration or out of that mental confusion. We are appealing or even complaining to God out of that. And so again, it's an act of a will. We feel something, and so we choose to lament out of it. And there is so much more healing that begins to take shape. In fact, when we lament, we encounter things in our emotions and we encounter things in our mind that we didn't even know still needed healing. So lamenting, while it is great, while it's inside the context of relationship and expands the relationship with God every time, it increases the capacity of our spirit to experience God. What it also does is it opens up a broader portion of our soul for more and more healing. And so I want to continue to encourage you. Give yourself the same permission God gives you, which is the permission to lament. Even Jesus lamented. Check out His prayer in the garden leading towards His trial and His crucifixion. It's a prayer of lament. It's coming out of his betrayal. His friends aren't with Him. They're not hanging with Him. He sees what's coming. There's going to be separation from His Father when He becomes our sin. It is a prayer of lament. And in it, He's actually also modeling something that we can experience. Keep lamenting whenever you need to and experience a broader open door for healing in your soul, that mind and those emotions. Church, I'm grateful to be in this with you. Even some of the hard parts, like going to the deep end of the pool, the deep end of our soul, to experience what can be the gift of lamenting. I love you, church. I believe in you. Let's follow Jesus in this.